both of these teams are maybe a little bit lacking in that instant kill potential. Let's move on into game overlays as we get ourselves into game one of this best of three. Our one and only series of the day here for the ESL One LA Online League. Old 11 coming in for LGD, Centaur in the offlane, X-Nova Ogre. Maybe playing that Storm with FY on the classic Wind Ranger, Boots first up for him. And Chalice DP down bottom. Going to be facing off against a Wizard Mars. And likely the Faith Clockwork will head down there with a headdress. Waichi playing Shadow Demon up top with, looks like Mugi on the Nature's Prophet. And AQ is your Lesh mid. Treants trying to get an idea of where the Observer Wards are. Of course, you can still do the old tricks of hiding inside the range. If there's vision, the tower hits you. If not, it doesn't. And I can't believe it.
Smart boy, Gary.
It honestly still blows my mind that it took, like, 8 years or something for me. Of course, trees have moved and tower ranges have changed around, but that just concept of scouting wards by getting into tower range is just so smart. I love it. Dota2.
So they have position 5 Clockwork. I've seen that, I'd say a month and a half ago. It looked okay-ish.
Okay-ish. Well, bounty runes. Faith grabs up one. Battery Assault doing a decent job here. Taking down X-Nova and stacking up some Shadow Poison. LGD losing out on bounty runes, it looks like. Wizard gets a couple, Faith gets one. FY grabs the only bounty for LGD as they set up a tri-lane top.
Leaving DP. I mean, one thing you do, if you keep your tri-lane and just bully their lane, someone needs to rotate, and then you have that profit in 1 versus 1 scenario, which I don't think she can lose. All right, so Ogre's just deeping back bottom.
So they do set up there 2-1-2. So it's Shadow Demon and Mars down bottom. You mentioned the kind of clock 5. Faith going to try and deal with the Wind Ranger, but that's not easy. You do have a headdress to mitigate the right clicks coming out, but FY so good with positioning, unlikely to get caught by the Battery Assault, especially with boots up on the Wind Ranger as well.
One of the reasons why he adjusted his item build, usually he just builds headdress, 1 branch, 1 set of tangos, and a mango.
Oopsie daisy. There we go. Bassy for the SD. Early buckler here for Wizard on that Mars. Very tanky. How's DP doing? 6-1 on Chalice. Farming away like a boss. Mid lane, though, is going to be pretty tasty here. Storm versus Lesh. Both of them very good at trading hits. Leshrac so far coming out slightly on top. Getting some good split earth connections is definitely the way to swing this lane matchup. But Somnus, he's kind of sidestepping, dropping a shoulder, dodging out, and forcing AQ to animation cancel more often than not.
In this matchup, Leshrac will get 2 points in Lightning Storm so that he can harass him. I assume he's going to go for like 2-0-2 build and then start putting points in Edict so he can pressure the towers.
X-Nova gets a ward down. Oh, that sentry. Just out of range of the Observer ward, sadly. Very, very nearly able to block up the camp and take out the vision.
When I said Clockwork position 5 look okay-ish last time I saw it, I still prefer to have Clockwork 5 instead of having Clockwork 3.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. And like you mentioned, Clockwork, he goes in, he kind of gets his body in the fight. Once he uses hookshot to initiate, and then he's like, right, cool, that's my job done. You don't really want your 3 to be, the kamikaze mission hero, really. But a boss 5, perfectly fine. Especially when your buyback is cheaper.
Story. If you're getting kills and then you buy Aghanim Scepter and reset all your kit.
Yeah. AQ. Another split earth there, but maybe with a second point in overload now getting a decent chunk of damage, back into the Lesh. Threatening him, pushing him back to his own high ground. Oh, misses uphill, sadly, for maybe. And another split earth. AQ does have to be wary about that magic damage. Bottle delivered now, though, so regen coming into that 4-minute mark for the first rune spawn.
We've seen yesterday 6 people at 4 minutes just trying to secure the runes for their mid laners. Somnus, what is he bringing? Just the healing salve and the mango at the moment.
Yeah, so what's the net worth difference between the two of them? 600, 700 net worth difference because of the Storm bringing out, like you're mentioning, the little bits of regen, while the bottle, of course, ramping up the net worth.
Yeah, we had this
Slash.
discussion yesterday where you don't have to go for fast bottle on your mid laners anymore since there's no minute to runes. Let's see, rune spawning in a couple of seconds and
SD.
Nature's Prof. Okay, SD steeping.
Steeping in. Disruption Split Earth. They've got the setup. This is a kill on Storm for sure. First blood should be going the way of Newbee. Down goes maybe. And where's the rune spawned? What was it?
That was bottom.
Rune.
X Noah got it.
So at least no refill there for the Leshrac, and nobody's going to be TPing in from Fountain to refill the bottle. So AQ has got the long walk back to base, refill bottle, then TP to lane. But this, honestly, giving Waishi on this Shadow Demon a good kind of run towards level 4, not too shabby.
And it's a position for Shadow Demon. This hero is good at every single stage of the game. Once you max out Soul Catcher, you have lower cooldown on Disruption. You get Ether Lens.
Yeah.
And they have Storm Spirit, but yeah, okay, they have mobility heroes with Wind Ranger and Centaur ulti, so they can close the gap and find this Shadow Demon. All these like heroes that have any kind of save are very valuable, and you want to kill them first in a team fight, like Oracle, Shadow Demon, Wyvern.
I think you're right with that Ether Lens, though. The faster this SD gets that, able to set up on the Storm from longer range as they go again. Disruption Split Earth. Faith trying to get in on top of Storm. The damage looks good. Maybe tries to turn and fight with a stick charges pop. Bloodluster run away. Maybe surviving this one. Faith is going to be the one to fall under the tier 1 as FY and X Nova both rotating in as, yet again, 6 heroes mid. We've got the Trialing against Trialing. The stacks, he does pop in the back, you're right. Split Earth not catching FY, and Ogre chases back the Shadow Demon. But Catapult coming in for a bit of chip damage here onto the tier 1, going to get taken out in short measure as the Shackle Shot stops. The Leshrac in his tracks, he's still got the Split Earth to connect, and now he's level 6. He's got the Pulse Nova to bring down the Ogre and TP from Moogie. He's in the trees, a little bit awkward here from Moogie, still stuck, as he didn't break them with his little treants coming out.
Help, help. Shadow Demon has one tango, he can get him out.
It looks like he's going to try, oh there we go. He's gonna Sprout push him out. 3-1, and we've seen this, tilting maybe, or, putting a lot of pressure on him at the very least has been a key way to kind of unsettle LGD, especially in the early laning stage. Newbee heavily focusing this. Again, they move. Maybe he's trapped in the Sprout. Moogie, the Pos 1, stuck around in the mid lane. They get themselves yet another. I mean, he's 0-3-1 on the Storm now.
Maybe he's not having game. He just TP'd back. Oh my god, he's also level 5. This tower is going to go down. No points in Edict, so Lester's going for this all-in kill build. The cast radius, the radius on Split Earth allows him to play more aggressive. I love how he's addressing this lane. Adjusting properly. Yeah, they're going to lose the top tower. 11 didn't even pop to retaliate.
So that is the trade-off there, shutting down maybe, giving Old 11 a much better time. 53 and 11 now on the Centaur. His full Vanguard done with a good 700 saved up. But, oh man, not only have they slammed mid lane, this Leshrac, what's his net worth right now? 3,600, taking out some real juicy jungle stacks. AQ is massive. Mango Tree's nice. Hello, Disruption. Faith going to move in with the Battery Assault again, but it's an Ogre. He's tanky and he's difficult to bring down as Old 11 stampede on towards Moogie. Nature's Prophet caught, tries to self-sprout. He is trapped in the trees, but it's unfortunately a cage that Old 11 will use to his own advantage. Waishi, 5 stacks of poison, take down the Ogre, and Wizard coming in. He's got himself the Arena of Blood. Oh, he's caught the Centaur, but FY escapes. Old 11 will drop inside this arena. Down goes the Centaur for a double kill on Waishi. Storm, level 6. He wants to zip in and he'll catch the clockwork. So a freebie here on Faith. One more click to take him down.
It's still a good trade for Newbee. In terms of net worth, game pretty even. Dead Prophet is level 7, not a single point in Exorcism yet. They need to play around the bottom lane, get that Exorcism going, and kill the bottom tower. The thing is, this Shadow Demon is setting things up for them quite easily. With the Disruption allows either Nature's Prophet to TP in or Clockwork just to run close to them and get the Battery Assault going.
Level 7 DP, yeah, you're right. No exorcism yet.
Lash
hitting
track.
8.
Faded Brooch. This is the best item you can get tier 1 for Lash Track. It gives you mana pool, which you need, and extra movement speed so you can land your spells more easily, even if you're like chasing with the Edict or just landing a Split Earth.
434 move speed. Chalice, banished. Leshrac trying to get into range for that Split Earth. The nice stun from that spear will allow them to shred the Ogre with the Nature's Wrath, bouncing out across the map. An Arcane Ring, pretty damn good as well. Moogie grabbed that one up. But look at how kind of defensively postured LGD are. They're all in their own jungle. They're kind of trying to react to these movements. But immediately, Nature's Prophet is going to... Oh, they thought about TPing top to go and get that additional farm, but they're giving it to Faith to try and get Clock to level 6 a little faster.
Nature's Prophet is extremely farmed. Here they come. This is a big kill.
Yeah, Shadow Demon, 4x kill streak down. 457 gold for the Centaur. Let's have a look how that's spread out. A little bit of gold here for the Storm and the Wind Ranger. But Centaur, almost with a hood done on top of his Vanguard. Incredibly tanky.
Once Storm sees the item build on Nature's Prophet, he might swap Kaya and get a Yule Scepter. They have no save. They have no Glimmer, no Force Staffs. They don't have a single hero that can keep him alive. So you need to think outside of the box. Like, Kaya is a great item, but you want to have an item to dispel this silence with.
And they've got tons of ways to mess with Stampede, right? You mentioned the Mars ulti, they've got Cogs, Disruption, they've got Sprout. So many ways to combo up with the Orchid to make sure that even Stampede won't be able to get the Storm out of danger. Clock, about a quarter of the way through level 5. Still needs a decent chunk to hit 6. Has he got a tome coming? Yeah, there's the tome. Pop 6. Shovel, gets him a TP scroll. He could consider TPing bottom to try and maybe catch out someone over on the LGD side of the map. Leshrac, Boots of Travel Rush. So holding out on the Yule Scepter for now. 520 move speed on Lesh. That is actually insane. Smoking with the clockwork.
550 with smoke.
What? That's illegal, I'm sure. My goodness. Are they pinging out the Nature's Prophet illusion? I think they know that's an illusion, but they don't realize this smoke is coming straight up to the high ground. So Ogre, caught up in the cogs, Leshrac silenced up, so Split Earth won't connect, but the magic damage AoE clears through X-Nova as Faith gets traded back into Chalice. And there's just no catching that Lesh. Centaur's kind of waddling forward like a penguin, while AQ sprinting out like a cheetah. 348 against what? 520? Oh, that's a massive difference. They've both got 4 legs. Surely they could move at the same speed.
That's not how it works, Gary. You watched too much
David Attenborough
documentaries.
documentaries. I have honestly been watching a lot of like Planet Earth and stuff. Tier 1 tower mid as that catapult wave comes in. So LGD grabbing something for themselves pretty nicely.
Imagine if you had a voice of David Attenborough and you're casting Dota.
And now, watching the Mars in his natural habitat. The big spear in his hand, looking for a target. The prey doesn't know he's coming. Yeah. Something like that. I'm not very good. David Attenborough is a legend. He's the voice of a nation, really. That
Voice of nature, I would say.
Voice of nature. What's Moogie up to? Closing in on the Orchid. Faith still wandering around. Hookshot is back up. Newbee not feeling too bothered about anything. They're just calmly farming themselves in towards a Spirit Vessel on Wizard. Shadow Demon, Ether Lens, couple of 100 gold away. So they're clicking into place all these nice little pieces. And it's the Orchid on Prophet. Once they have that, they are ready to do anything they want. Move around, find snipes, catch Storm, who is still going Kaya. So not adapting into that Yule Scepter you mentioned.
That Prophet ulti is up. This is their strongest spell right now, and they should play around it. Also, they need to use Centaur. Right now, he is unkillable. Hood and Vanguard.
Yeah, when you're in a position like this, do you feel like LGD should be doing more to kind of break out of the rut? Because you're allowing Newbee just to hit their timings. Okay, here's a smoke. You're right. DP with that ulti looking for a kill. They'll snag Clockwork here. It's a pretty simple take. Newbee's not going to react to this. Just let Faith fall. Prophet's going to TP
They're fine
top.
with that. Smoke for a position 5. Mugi is going to finish off his Orchid on the top lane.
And they do
Storm
try
is
and
in.
zip in on the Lesh. There's the arena. Nice dodge out of the spear, out of the arena. Putting pressure onto AQ, but maybe kind of cutting that one close. If he gets caught by the spear, he is absolutely dead there. It does allow LGD to shove into the tier 1 bottom lane, push Newbee up to the top part of the map. And of course, forcing Arena of Blood defensively, really.
Mars is going for Spirit Vessel. I love Spirit Vessel against that Prophet, but at the point she's gonna have a Yule Scepter, and other heroes are not that good if you cast Spirit Vessel on. I mean, it's a great item, don't get me wrong, one of my favorite ones, but I still feel like there is a better choice. Like getting Pipe against a Centaur, Wind Ranger who deals insane amount of magical damage. Same goes for Storm.
Orchid ready on Prophet. Lesh has TP'd base and they're sprinting down to bottom. Tier 2, 500 HP. A silence and a missed hook shot. SD can't initiate and Storm zips straight into the back lines. Wysheed self-disrupts very last second, and now in comes the Lesh with Mugi from the high ground, trying to shred through the Ogre. They do trade 1 for 1, but the tower having fallen now. Can they chase onto Chalice? No Stampede. Chalice seemingly fast enough to dip away. Newbee not committing.
LGD is playing extremely well at the moment. They got 2 towers on the bottom lane. They're choosing the fights that they need to take. You can see Storm Spirit, like, he's been shut down, but he's playing on the edge, going in, using all of his mana, then getting out. And once Centaur gets his Blink Dagger, it's gonna be so much easier for them to take a fight. Like, him and Storm Spirit can't play together. Cut in the back lines, find Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon had an extremely good early game, and now he's struggling.
Does he have the rest? Is that just Arcane Boots queued up? I thought he was a little closer to Ether Lens, honestly. That's my mistake. Just trying to get the Arcanes now. But I've got to agree with you. LGD taking all of these little fights incredibly effectively. And they're diving bottom tier 1. The scan did connect, but the TP out from FY already allows him to escape. Do you want to shift into tier 2 here? You've got 2 deep wards on the in the Radiant jungle from the Dire, so they can see everything coming.
They need to take over the outpost. Clockwork is going to take care of that, so they can't backstab them, even though they have the vision.
He's shoveled a kobold. Kill the kobold! You dug this up with your shovel! Kill it! Okay, Leshrac will come and take it off you then. People's gift grabbed up. Who do you want to give that to? Does Lesh keep it? The Faded Brooch is so good.
You can give it to Shadow Demon to tank up a little bit.
That's true.
Nate's Prophet still has
That's
Arcane
right.
Ring, so he can
Completely
be the one
isolated.
carrying it.
And focus fire from FY with that javelin destroys him. AQ sticking around for far too long, and LGD finding every little movement that they can exploit.
LGD slowly taking control of this game. That Prophet just hit level 12, which is a big deal. Another missed hook shot.
Still an Arena of Blood, Sprout and Silence, so Chalice annihilated inside the Colosseum. Oh, Fire Blast, who's that? Ogre, trying to get involved. Blink Dagger on Centaur is up, but with Storm sitting bottom lane, 0 mana, I don't think LGD really looking for a fight whatsoever. And honestly, that DD rune has been there for a minute and a half, guys. Come on, someone's got to go see it. Old 11, find the DD. No, that's a creep camp. FY is 1,000 gold away from MKB. You talked about it in the draft, and we've seen it before. It still boggles my mind how quickly this Wind Ranger
He doesn't
can scale.
buy anything. X-Noah taking care of the Sentry Wards, smokes, so he can afford to go for it. And once he gets that MKB, like, he becomes the core. Whoever he focuses just straight up dies. And he will buy second item BKB. You can see the itemization on LGD. Even that Prophet rushing BKB after Yule Scepter.
Yeah, we're a big fan of that.
There's nothing besides eating that goes through magic immunity.
Well, a quick kill on Faith. As long as it's not the Leshrac, Newbee reasonably happy with that. Faith putting himself in a position where he can be caught out just to give AQ the avenue to escape. Roshan, the DD rune does get grabbed up by Old 11. And Exorcism popped as well. Why she
Use
is
Bloodlust on 11. Not that Prophet. Ogre, come on, step up.
Get it going. No contest here from Newbee either, so a free Roshan. Maybe not free if you count Exorcism as a, a long-ass cooldown that they've had to expend, but still a big objective to take. And they don't lose anything in exchange. Tier 2 bottom is alive, and they're swinging in to defend it. Newbee bringing numbers bottom. Moogie closing in on a BKB of his own. Lesh wants the Kaya before BKB, so maybe a little greedy there from AQ.
Extremely greedy build by him, going for Boots of Travel. Boots of Travel got nerfed, so you can just TP back and come back again with full mana.
Smoke out from Newbee. They really want to catch the Storm Spirit and limit what maybe he's been doing, but he's got Bloodstone Aegis now. He's a difficult kill to get the first time, if not the second.
Maybe had atrocious early game, but he managed to come back. He didn't die a single time after the laning stage, and now he has a full Bloodstone and Aegis. Like, his positioning was extremely good. He had to play it a bit offensively so they can make this happen. The tier 1 tower on the bottom lane and tier 2 tower, when they continued, they will find DP.
There, they catch with a spear. Chalice was dancing around the trees. He silenced the Mars up, trying to get himself out, but they've also found Old 11 and Xnova inside the cog. Stampede will be utilized just to try and disengage a little bit. A Blink Stomp, though, trying to turn it around onto Wizard. Quick Arena of Blood, and now Old 11's in a sticky spot. Xnova back into battle, but the Pulse Nova shreds the big tanky Centaur, and Xnova follows. Into the grave they go. And Newbee strike back. Didn't even have to use the BKB on Prophet. Oh, an Arcane Rune for AQ. That is beautiful.
Well, LGD played well. Now they're choosing fights that they should not. Also, sometimes being friends is not good. In Dota, you have to say, screw you, dude. I'm leaving.
Yeah, you're dead.
They
I'm
could have
outta
just
here.
left that Prophet to die without losing anyone else.
11,500 net worth on Moogie. This Prophet, you know, it reminds me of the old days with Midas Prophet. Just, there's no Midas in sight. He's so farmed. Clearing out Ancients very, very easily. And Bloodthorn, queued up. Not too far away from it. Hook shot towards Xnova. Up on the front lines, again, just trying to bodyguard whoever he can. Now, disruption out onto Lesh to save him. But the Stomp connects beautifully from Old 11. AQ gone, even with that Arena of Blood being utilized by Wizard. And Somnus jumping YShe, so they get a bonus kill and potentially more. Yule's up to stop any TP home from Wizards. Mars, 3 in a row for the price of an Ogre, and that is not where you want to be as Newbee. No Prophet, no Clockwork in the fight. A 3 versus 5 as LGD respond magnificently, and they've actually caught Faith. Old 11 somehow manages to see the Clockwork in the trees. Shackle shot from FY, MKB goes to work, and Clockwork is the 4th casualty of war.
Really back and forth game. I would call this very sloppy from both of the teams. After having one good engagement, they just give it to them on a silver platter.
Yeah, it really is back and forth. Both teams, yeah, it's just like both teams feel strong, and then they realize that one hero dies and everything crumbles down. I think Leshrac has been the main. I don't want to say, like, he's not the main problem, just his positioning has been greedy, his positioning has been very offensive, and just not respecting the jump of the Storm and the damage from Centaur and Wind Ranger. But also potentially like over prioritizing a kill on an Ogre. Like, yes, you kill the Ogre, but Xnova dying sets up the fight for LGD every time.
LGD right now wants to get a pick off. They still have 50 seconds on that Aegis, and this is a kill.
Moogie delaying his TP a little bit there. Will be fine. I guess a little close.
If FY used Wind run before, he would have got in range.
Oh, old
Another
11
missed hook shot.
blinks away just in time, and he's actually sprinting in, dodging around. Mars Arena is thrown out, but Chalice giving chase. Yules up onto Wizard, turning back to kill off Faith, who's thrown his body into the fight. Another charge up on the Bloodstone for Maybe. And DP continues on to Mars. This Somnus Storm is absolutely annihilating them. He went 0-3 in the laning stage, now 4-3. Big comeback from the Storm of Maybe.
His mana will go back to full in a couple of seconds, and there it is. They can still continue to deal some damage on tier 3 towers. Old 11 getting up the charges on Retaliate. That Prophet ulti is up with the BKB. Someone needs to address the top lane.
It looks like Ogre's going to try and cut wave. Maybe not. Just plonking a ward down. LGD. Just holding out in the river. What was the 24-minute rune? Arcane for Maybe. Still bottled up. 19 Bloodstone charges. I was praising Mugi's net worth and seeing how farmed he was. But it's not been much of an impact from this Prophet. That Orchid timing, it was great, but Maybe has been sitting in the pocket, really hiding very well, playing Fog incredibly effectively, and there's not been too many opportunities to go catch him.
Mars.
Jump on mid.
That's an easy one.
It sure is.
Yeah, they did not utilize this fast Orchid build-up on Nature's Prophet. I mean, you can say that they couldn't find any openings, or that Maybe had a really nice positioning, which he did, zipping in and out. And now he's gonna finish his BKB, so he does not have to worry about anything. We'll roll in, find a kill on Shadow Demon, even on Lash. Like, he can
Even on
initiate
Prophet.
Lash.
He's
Even
already
on
found
Prophet,
Mugi.
yeah.
They've got right clicks here, 600 HP, that's not enough to take him down. But that's another second BKB charge now, down to 8-second duration. Both used defensively to TP home. Sad times for the Furion. Moving in, wait, is he buying Blade Mail? Mugi's buying Blade Mail.
Against Windranger, I guess.
Oh, true. That's pretty cool.
And against that Prophet, it's extremely effective. Well, once I see one Blade Mail on my team,
More.
this is a yeah, this is like let's go 5.
Who else? Mars can buy a Blade Mail potentially. Clockwork definitely, if he saves up enough money for it. Hookshot, who have we caught? Oh, there we have it. Faith has jumped on the Centaur. Old 11 now in the arena, but the BKB Storm zips back out. One kill down, as Maybe looking for YShe, still with that BKB glow in golden, but decides to disengage as the rest of LGD holding on the left-hand side. Chalice, Nova, FY. Thinking about breaking the high ground. They're pinging to go up, and Chalice, Exorcism to run forward. Sprouted now, still has BKB Yules on the Death Prophet.
Siphon.
That's big Siphon, yeah, he's holding on to the Yules. The BKB finally popped and Faith will
Damage
fall.
from
One
Prophet.
charge is coming out, and Prophet nearly kills Wizard. Gets the blink forward. Nice little slam down, but AQ traded. No, the disruption! Yeah, they got enough. Can they stun Somnus? They do bring down the Lash and a Vortex onto Prophet. No defensive abilities remaining, and YShe has nothing left to do but turn tail and run. Maybe can sprint forward again. Another power shot. FY getting close to that kill, but they've trapped Maybe in with a Demonic Purge popping, and FY still going. Focus fire onto Wizard, but he's got himself a bulwark. He faces his target. He turns the fight. The power shot misses, and YShe still going with another disruption up. They've got poison stacks, and Wizard will secure a kill on FY. The two big cores down from Newbee, but Mars and Shadow Demon pairing up beautifully at the end of that.
Such a beautiful fight to watch from Newbee's perspective. The spell casting was on point. That Prophet pops the ulti, and Prophet instantly starts attacking him. Like, I do not give a damn. Puts a Bloodthorn on him, gets him low, then DP uses BKB, and she already used the triple Spirit Siphon, so she did not have a single charge.
Yeah, it was a bit weird holding that BKB for so long. Still had the Yules and a ton of one charges, but my goodness. That Nature's Prophet, no messing around with him. And I'm wondering, he has Blade Mail queued, but do you think about going into Daedalus now? You can still go into that Crystallis if you really want to.
he can buy both, like just cheap damage. And Blade Mail is thinking outside of the box. Mars, Craggy Coat, that's a good one. Against Wind Ranger, even though she deals ton of magical damage with Monkey King Bar procs, still a lot of it's physical, so a lot of it will get mitigated. What's Clockwork buying? He's going Hood. Mars going for BKB. Mars is doing an extremely good job fighting against the Centaur, using Arena of Blood to keep him inside of it, so his ulti cannot be useful.
The halberd on Centaur coming out over on old 11. Should be pretty good if they can catch that profit. Pretty BKB. Mugi does complete the blade mail now, and it looks like they're just holding high ground here, maybe prepping for a smoke, or just holding the ramps to see where LGD are coming from. Bloodlust out onto maybe. Old 11 ready with his finger on the trigger to jump any target they spot. Power shot. I wonder if that gave vision. It did. They do see a couple of heroes up on the high ground, maybe aggressively jumping. Still holding regen. And his BKB ready, of course, as X-Nova nearly shredded, but a jump stomp catching clock. Beautiful from old 11. Sprouted up now, and he's dropping low. He's got no buyback, so no stampede here as Chalice giving chase onto AQ, forcing the lash back as they pop out Wizard at long last. Faith in a lot of trouble. Chalice is so powerful. He's got himself a Shadow Amulet, though, on the Clockwork. So goes invis and sprints away. So 1-for-1 trade, offlaner for offlaner. Pretty good for both sides. As Exorcism expended, but they shift into the Roshan pit. And I don't know... Oh, do they?
They don't know that Rosh is up.
Oh,
all right, Chalice. Exorcism running for a couple of seconds, but double damage. Ice Frog makes sure that LGD is gonna take this Rosh easier, or will they?
Treant's coming to scout.
Clockwork Rocket scouting things out.
Hook shot in 10 seconds. Smoke up from Newbee is why she throws in a couple of poison stacks to scout the pit. And LGD give up. Roshan at half health. Centaur alive in 5. 25 for the Mars. I wonder if old 11 TP's top and they just go sprinting into the jungle. Try and find a catch. He's going to TP mid. Not going to regroup with his team just yet.
Stupendous.
I like what Maybe is doing in fights, trying to provoke any kind of a spell usage, like a disruption. Also, they need to have dust.
Old 11. That Soul Catcher taking away the majority of his HP. Faith, he's not going to be able to deal with the Storm Spirit as AQ looks to damage down Old 11, but the damage being spread around. Finally, the Centaur falls, and the Arena of Blood doing very little. Storm just zips over. FY walks out with his own BKB, and a Sprout onto Mugi. Oh, the Yules! He didn't BKB, so he's going to get caught out. 2 cores gone. Ogre and Center of the trades for LGD and Shadow Demon. That Shadow Glimmer Cape not going to last long enough. FY and Chalice here to make short work of him. Shackle shot. Shot. Not going to come. So Shadow Demon does get the TP home.
They need to buy a gem on LGD. These 2 Glimmer Capes causing a lot of issues. I mean, Clockwork has Shadow Amulet, but still doing a very good job with it. That Prophet ulti will be up in 15 seconds. Nature's Prophet does not have a buyback. I mean, it's okay for Nature's Prophet to try to TP back without using a BKB, so you can come back in a fight.
Clockwork. Rocket. Hook shot. Oh! I don't know if he was out of range or he just didn't want to go for it, but it was close regardless. Aegis, regen rune for Maybe. Cheese over on the Death Prophet, and this is where LGD really can start to shine. Very even games so far, up and down. 2K has been the maximum net worth lead for any side. Newbee seem to be running out of steam. Mars is shifting Craggy Coat into his backpack just to farm a little more efficiently. Putting it back when he feels like he might be in danger. Storm Spirit, 3,600 gold saved. Orchid pickup could be huge here for them. Wind Ranger with mech now on top of BKB and Monkey King Bar. And that could make all the difference here in these fights that are so tight, keeping one teammate alive just for, 3 seconds, 4 seconds longer. Especially if it's someone like the Centaur, that Soul Catcher, taking 35% of his HP.
I was about to say, that Centaur needs Lotus Orb to remove that Soul Catcher. Like, it deals 1,000 damage to him.
That's insane.
Maybe even more. That's actually more.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's what's been you know, he gets hook-shotted, trapped in cogs, Soul Catchers set up perfectly by that. Leshrac did struggle to do the damage in that fight, even if AQ just running into the middle of 5 of them. That's what we were talking about at the end of the draft, the lack of single target burst or real kill threat on an individual hero. Storm just going to go in behind Barracks, forcing disruption. Centaur blinks but doesn't stomp. Glimmer Cape onto Mugi as they do spear, stun the Centaur to the trees, but this tier 3 being destroyed by the bats of Chalice. And for now, Newbee not really with a great response. Soul Catcher comes out, Arena of
Nice
Blood onto
Arena.
3, beautifully done, but the silence, AQ forced to BKB and they've lost the Mars, the buyback comes out, Old 11 dropping low and they've lost their Ogre as FY moves in towards the YShe SD, but it's Somnus, long zip, takes out Lesh, Aegis finally popped, but he's still got a lot in the tank as BKB is still ready for maybe, he can use it and zip out to go on another target. Disruption saves up Mugi as the Nature's
Glimmer Cape's
Prophet,
ready.
no BKB, no Bloodthorn, but he's got a Glimmer Cape from his teammates to walk on out, and Chalice inside the cogs, self-fuels up, holding cheese and one charge is 2. Shiver's Guard
Wow.
ready as the Sprout silence on a Storm clears up maybe in a 5-man wipe. Newbee hold their high ground.
Man, it's such a pleasure to watch Newbee play like this. They understand how to approach this fight completely. Wizard goes in. It's the same thing what 11 is doing when LGD is winning. He's not afraid to go in, set things up for his team, then buy back and come. Also, this Spirit Vessel on that Prophet, if she does not have a BKB or Yule Scepter ready, Spirit Siphon's not doing anything as she can't pop the cheese. You get like 600 only HP when you use it if there's a Spirit Vessel on you. And if you watch the fight closely, he goes in, casts Arena of Blood, and instant Soul Catcher from this Shadow Demon. I mean, it's much easier for him to cast spells, has that Ether Lance and Teles. Also level 10 talent, 100 extra cast range.
That's pretty nice. And Aghanims on Shadow Demon. 3 charges on Demonic Purge. Have fun stampeding around, boyos. We can't dispel it. So never mind. Just kid.
You can break people. Yeah, so you can break Overload, you can break his...
You can get rid of Bloodlust, Wind Run.
Yeah, you can also... I think you can break Retaliate, the passive one. I'm not sure about that. I'll check.
So the return damage.
Yeah.
But not the active. Now Newbee take a bit more control out of the map, you know, immediately. After fighting on their own high ground, they are pushing pretty much close to tier 3s thanks to this Prophet shoving out top, and the rest of the squad making base camp down south. But even with the double catapults, they kind of have to fall back as Newbee, LGD all respawn. This,
Yeah, it does. That's what Game PDS is.
This Blade Mail and Prophet means that, like you said, the Wind Ranger can't just go in and focus fire Mugi.
They definitely need that Lotus Orb on a Centaur. Dispelling either Soul Catcher or Bloodthorn on Storm Spirit, he only has one way of defending himself, and that's 7-second BKB.
Prophet trying to pick up a Satanic, and Assault Cuirass also queued. Yeah, it looks like Satanic's the choice he's making.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Mars with a fresh BKB.
Oh, I see a second Blade Mail coming up.
Is it Clockwork?
It is.
Yeah. Oh, it's finished. God damn. Faith. Glimmer Cape and Blade Mail now. Shadow Demon looking for Blink Dagger. 700 gold off of that. LGD clearing out top wave and getting very close to the tier 3. Newbee not really breaking high ground just yet, even though they're doing this kind of pivoted push into mid and bottom lane at the same time. LGD can still come back and defend, no problems.
Shadow Demon is doing so much. I'm wondering which talent he wants to pick up on level 20. Both are extremely good. He went for 25% Shadow Poison damage on 15, but Soul Catcher.
It's-
That one is so good.
It's huge. I mean, even, you know, DP and Storm Spirit sitting at, what, 2.8k and 2.2k, so I guess 2.4k HP when he's on Strength Treads. It's still a massive chunk of damage to these tanky heroes.
Yeah, he went for Soul Catcher. It's a better one. You still deal a lot of damage with Shadow Poison. Anyway,
Tower is under attack.
full Greaves on Wind Ranger, so he has another way of dispelling things on herself and keeping her teammates alive.
And they
Okay,
still stick
Storm
around
hit level
bottom.
25.
Auto Remnant? Hell yeah. I'm wondering if he thinks about Aghanim Scepter on Storm for that AoE Vortex. He did go for the Vortex talent, but for now, still trying to head into Bloodthorn and then Lincoln Sphere. What's the Lincoln's for? Orchid, Bloodthorn, Sprout. Stop yourself from getting sprouted, Bloodthorn, I guess. LGD on the back foot a little bit, but this smoke could turn the tides. The trouble is that Dire Ward sees everything. Faith on the high ground with Wizard holding. Treants are scouting. The jump will catch. The clockwork now as they silence him up and Faith will fall. The Arena of Blood onto 3, forcing the BKB out of maybe, and Wizard just going to walk it off. With the jump onto the back, the Storm and Wind Ranger destroy AQ, and Shadow Demon, he can't get there with a save. Mugi has popped his Blade Mail, Satanic to turn and fight Old 11, but he's not got enough. The hook shot from the buyback clockwork will find Old 11, but he's not killed. He's force-staffed away. Oh, the Centaur surviving some way, somehow, and this buyback clockwork jumped again by maybe. 4 heroes in a row, and this dieback might be the signal of the end as LGD, a beautiful fight, even off the revealed smoke. And Roshan alive in 1 minute means they'll probably have to shove down a lane. But Newbee, pants down, caught with no response. What a disaster.
PSG.LGD also had Gem in that fight, so these Glimmer Capes, they've had enough. They were losing the vision in the previous fights because they had no dusts, and now it's a different kind of story. Also, finding Shadow Demon, it's much easier for Shadow Demon to play when he has like tier 4 towers to defend him, a fountain, but if he's caught in open, and this is the hero to focus, like if Shadow Demon dies, they lose a fight.
Dire's bottom
No
tower
buyback
is under
on
attack.
Prophet.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Or the clockwork, of course, having died back in that previous fight. Lesh can, but with 19 seconds until he respawns, doesn't really want to. So a lane of barracks bottom, melee at least, as they probably shift. Yeah, that's an easy ranged rax. Yeah, shift in towards mid, straight after for another tier 3.
Dire's middle tower
Shadow
is under
Demon
attack.
and Mars.
Dire's
Not much they can do here,
fallen.
but watch their buildings collapse and crumble before their very eyes.
Dire's
Their base ceasing to exist in a matter of seconds. LGD bail out straight away, and they've got a courier scouting Roshan, so 2 full lanes of objectives into Aegis Cheese and Refresher Shard that the big man's holding.
They need to run in straight into Roche, but they lose this Roche, they lose the game. They can't kill him twice. Scan connects, it's Refresher for DP, so 2 ultis if they get the hands on it. Clockwork Rocket scouting things out. They can't be there on time.
Way too late. And what do we have now? Aegis, Storm, DP with the cheese. They've got Greaves and a gem on the Wind Ranger. Who got the Refresher Shard? DP does. Of course DP does, yeah. Beautiful stuff. So now, if you had trouble killing the Storm and the Death Prophet once, you've got to get through them 2 times. Spell Prism Storm, okay. Okay, as if LGD didn't have enough bonuses and advantages going their way. Why she's dropping the crybaby, I don't think they saw it. Well, that's absolutely the response. Deary me, what, do we have any other big items, big neutrals? Witless Shaco? Is that, I still don't know if I like that item, minus 400 mana.
Who's holding it?
DP is. 1200
She
HP
has
increase.
She has
5400 HP with a heart, fair enough. Zip in from maybe, and a BKB. He wants to target anyone with no buyback. The hook shot onto 2 with the Arena of Blood is decent here from Newbee. Old 11 finds Mugi though. Satanic utilized to bring him back to full HP. And the Soul Catcher, look at it, annihilating the Centaur as AQ in onto the Death Prophet, still with the Refresher Shard up. So a secondary BKB is available, and they've lost faith. The clockwork down for 70 seconds, but Newbee have done decently here to kind of hold out in this fight without losing an objective. Storm, though, back in onto YShe, and Shadow Demon dead for 100 seconds. 3 versus 5 now. Newbee have to fight. Not an ideal scenario, and maybe still has the Aegis, so using his life as a resource, doesn't care, doesn't give a damn, because they found Moogie, the big profit kill, and Old 11 annihilating AQ's Lashrak. GG is called 34-28, and maybe after a devastating laney stage going 0 and 3, comes back in some seriously godlike fashion.
Yeah, well, what a performance by him. This has to be the most interesting game we saw so far.